What's up, everyone? I am Ernest Dove of the Dove Report. I just did my report on the bats, so let's talk arms. New York Mets pitching prospects at all the affiliates. I want to talk about how they're doing, some of the stats, some projections. I want to talk about the new guys that have been making debuts this week, how they looked, as well as some of the other guys that are still coming back, including two of the top ranked overall prospects, especially pitching prospects in the Mets organization, who are finally slowly back. One has been very hot lately, the other one just arrived. I'll get into it. Let me start down in low A with one of those guys. One of the top 10 ish prospects in the New York Mets organization, right handed pitcher Will Watson, who's still only 23 years old. He's finally back, making a rehab appearance in low A this week after being out since May. He had a really good inning of sorts, threw 93, 94, one inning. Looks like he threw a slider, changeup, cutter. He has from 4 to 5 pitches. He's one of the most kind of filthiest pitchers in the Mets farm system. Now I want to see him to stay healthy for once through the rest of this year, get back to the upper minors, maybe hopefully end the season back in Double A at some point to get reps. One of the younger guys from the 2024 draft, or he's still also 23 years old, but not a lot of experience. Ethan Lanthier. He's also coming back from missing a lot of time. Since 2024, he's barely pitched, and he's only at about 10 appearances this year, which is a pro career season high number of kind of pitches, innings, outings, everything. Looks like he throws a variety of two different sliders, maybe a hard slider and a sweeper. His fastball looks like it's only been maybe topping 94. I believe Lanthier can get to 95 plus when he's 100% fully good to go. He threw 3 scoreless innings this week with only 1 walk, 3 Ks. Again, small sample size, but Lanthier has a walk issue sample size history in pro ball. Another guy I barely never talk about, Zach Mack, the right-handed pitcher, also 23 years old, last year's 16th round pick. This is a depth arm selection who's been quietly doing really well. Looks like a low 90s guy. He can top 94. Looks like he's more on the slower side with his slider. Overall, 26 appearances, 2.65 ERA, 37 and a third innings, 38 Ks, so the K rate is good. Yes, okay, here we go with the walks. 17 walks in 37 innings. This is the running theme of New York Mets baseball. Maybe it's a Stearns motto. Another guy, but he's interesting, especially as a 16th rounder. You'll take this all day. This is a guy you'd push definitely to Double A, Triple A at the higher levels and see what you got. The other guy I want to mention, the youngest of the group in Low A, 21-year-old right-hander Miguel Mejias. This is a guy I quietly heard about from someone else that I trust, from the, kind of the Mets talk, mentioning him. I could really see him as a high leverage reliever, as a ceiling. But right now, 21-year-old Miguel Mejias throws 96 to 98 like he did this week. He has 4 saves with Low A, 39 and a third innings, 47 Ks. The opponent's OPS for the season is 551. That's really good. What's the bad? 21 walks in those 39 innings. Again, this is what we got. But this is a very strong arm who can get used to the kind of the back end stuff. Even in Low A, they're giving him the back end high leverage opportunities. I want to see a kid like this get challenged in Double A. He's going to struggle probably with the walks. He's better figure it out because, again, that's a ceiling of a 7/8 guy inning, in my opinion, with enough pitch command. As we head to High A Brooklyn, I got a lot of arms to discuss. The lefty, one of my favorites, Nicholas Carreño, the 20-year-old. He had a Nicholas Carreño outing this week. 5 2/3 hitless innings. 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. This is what we still get from Nicholas Carreño. The opponent's slugging percentage this season against him is .316. He really doesn't allow anything damaging against him. For the season between Low A, High A, 81 innings, 102 strikeouts. The big thing for Nicholas Carreño, he's an upper 90s lefty. Do you transition him at some point to reliever? Personally, up to me, that's what I would do. I don't see anything negative, obviously, or non beneficial to continue having him start, especially as a 19 and now 20-year-old this playing season. Do it again next year. Have him pitch 2 to 4 innings or more to keep getting the reps. Try to get pitch command with his mix. But again, at the end, projection-wise, I would say Carreño can be a high-octane, high-volume lefty reliever in a major league pen. Speaking of which, I just described him as well. Left-hander Luis R. Rodriguez. He's a bit of an older guy now, 23, 24 years old. He's been around forever. He's been injured forever. Here he is now finally getting reps. 7 of his last 9 appearances out of a bullpen of sorts, or maybe quasi-starting, 7 of the 9 have been scoreless appearances. Here's the thing. 8 2/3 innings, because again, you really can't have him pitch more than 1 inning coming back from all the injuries. 8 2/3, 9 walks, 20 Ks. Now, the Ks make sense. The walks have been his issue even as a teenager. The Ks make sense because Luis R. Rodriguez right now, he doesn't belong at these levels. He didn't belong at the Complex League or St. Lucie or Brooklyn. He's pretty much a double-A pitcher, but he just missed so much time. He just needs the reps. I'll see how the command goes for the rest of the year, but this is another high-octane, high-leverage, 6-ish, 7-ish inning kind of reliever as a ceiling, in my opinion. Going down the list, the young guy that I hyped in a separate video previous week, 19-year-old Emilio Obispo, made a second appearance, a second start in Brooklyn. Didn't go as well as the first. He had a shining debut, but then the walks now hit him in the second debut, which is his thing. Command issues. Still a 95-plus arm at 19 years old, getting pushed to high A. I also, as well, to be honest, as a righty, only 19 years old, the sky is still the limit. I can see something where Obispo, maybe he turns into a high-octane reliever as well. Maybe it could be a guy like a Daniel Nunez or something. I want to see projections in maybe 2-3 years, but possibly continue as well, same as Carreño. Keep Obispo as a starter possibly into next year. See how things go. Maybe at the AA level is where you make a true decision. If he's getting knocked around or not maintaining enough command, maybe lower him to an inning at a time. Then you have one of my favorite guys who's basically been hidden, struggling all season, Joel Diaz. I have to mention him. He's now 22 years old. I haven't seen the command from him this year at all. He even hit the player development list briefly during the season. He's back now. He's missed so much time now in between. Even when he pitches, the walks are just way too much for a guy that was basically the right-handed Zach Thornton last season in the minors. Now, all of a sudden, same with the Jack Weniger, all of a sudden this year he can't find the strike zone. One of the other guys, now we're going to talk walks, but thank God he's back. Calvin Ziegler is still alive and pitching now in Brooklyn. 5 2/3 innings total, 14 walks in 5 2/3 with 8 strikeouts. Now his recent outing this week was his best of the season. He pitched 1 inning, struck everybody out. That's a guy you want to see from Calvin Ziegler as a ceiling of sorts, which at this point is his ceiling one way or another, a reliever. My take would be at this point, these years later, even still only at 23 years old, maybe it's best to try to get him 1 inning at a time going forward. Don't push him. If he holds up medically, physically, I want to see him in the pen. With the new guys, Luke Gabrish made his debut. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks in 4 innings. My understanding, talking to some people online that watched the game, might have been a couple of mistakes defensively. I don't want to use it as an excuse, but hey, 4 innings, 9 Ks. Might have been some excuses for at least 1 or 2 of the runs that were allowed in the game. I want to see how he progresses, obviously. Then again, one of my other favorites, Jose Chirinos, who's 21 years old, had a pretty good outing, but I don't like the walks now at the high A level. He really didn't walk anybody for St. Lucie. Now with Brooklyn, Jose Chirinos, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. I definitely respectfully want to see more from one of my shining star prospects. Even though he's more of a low 90s guy, he's the baby DeGrom guy, mostly on modeling the delivery again. He doesn't throw 99 or 100. I do like Jose Chirinos a lot. I still project Jose Chirinos as a depth starting pitcher one way or another, but I don't like the walks at the high A level. As we head to the show me level in double A lot of arms to talk about. I want to bring him up because I like and respect him, and so do other people. Channing Austin, 24-year-old. He put up the video game numbers at high A, 1.17 ERA at the high A level, and then right when he got promoted, hit the IL. He's back off the IL now at double A, and he's struggling. The walks continue to be an issue, even at high A and double A for Channing Austin. And now, when you allow walks at the show me level, that's why right now he might be sitting on a 5.02 ERA at the double A level. But I feel it's important to mention him because I still feel he's a strong depth arm as well. Another depth guy who's now 25 years old. I was kind of screaming for it respectfully for a promotion. Bryce Jenkins finally gets the promotion to double A. He's made 2 appearances, 1 scoreless, 1 he gave up a run. He had the 1.99 ERA at high A. I was wondering, why is a guy like this not already in double A weeks ago? Maybe it's because he's not a Stearns type guy. He's a low 90s arm. You know, Stearns and a lot of new age guys, they want 95, 97 plus. My understanding, again, he's low 90s. He could be or have to be a kitchen sink guy to make it, but I wanted to mention him. Now on the flip side, was it last year's 20th round pick who I interviewed? He's like a human computer with analytics in his brain. Very smart young guy. Garrett Stratton. He's 23 years old. He's now at the double A level. In 15 appearances at the double A level. 20 innings. Guess what? 1 walk. 1 walk in 20 innings. 15 appearances. 1 total walk of the 15. 24 strikeouts. 2.25 ERA. Again, this is a draft pick at the end of the draft last year. Barely drafted. He's having one of the best seasons amongst all the pitchers in the New York Mets farm system as a former 20th round pick, who's already now at the double A level. I say you can jump him to triple A out of camp next year. That puts him at a 2027 ETA as a reliever. I would think maybe more of a depth guy, not sure about 7th, 8th, 9th inning guy. I think he's a depth minor league or major league reliever as soon as next season. Then among the prospects, I talked about Will Watson. Now I'm going to talk about R.J. Gordon, who's now 24 years old. He broke camp on the IL. He's been struggling since he got back, but very quietly, R.J. Gordon, his last 3 starts combined, 18 innings, 13 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 walks, 24 strikeouts over the 18 innings. That includes a 10K outing, which I believe is his second 10K outing of the season. Now, I believe he's more of a lower 90s guy. Maybe he can top 94, 95, but he's been ranked as a consensus. He's been a ranked top 20 guy in the Mets farm system. Definitely pre-trade deadline acquisitions, but R.J. Gordon is still respected by the organization. There's a lot to still like about him as a depth rotation arm in the future. Now, again, one of the newer guys, Gary Gil-Hill. I guess he definitely had the best debut of all the new guys. Gary Gil-Hill, 21 years old, made his debut at the show me level here. I believe he's also from another league's double A. In his debut, 5 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. Not a lot of Ks, but he's not a K rate guy. This is actually good for him for extreme small sample size. These Ks per inning are higher than what it was in his previous organization's double A level. And again, the walks, he's usually much of a strike thrower. So I can continue to see him going 2 walks or less every 5 innings. He's a very strong arm to keep an eye on to see how he does. Again, depth for another rotation option for the next year or 2. Then you have one of my guys, Noah Hall, kind of a wild card arm with a lot of pitch movement. This week, 6 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts. Now, the thing with Noah Hall, he got this promotion to double A because all of a sudden, the guy who can't throw strikes, he started throwing a lot of strikes in the last couple of weeks in high A. He gets the promotion, And then here he is coming off a 0.39 ERA in July in high A. That's why he got promoted. Now he has a 10 strikeout game to his name. I want to see how he does because this is one of those guys, if he's off and on with command, maybe as well, this could be a depth, long man, kind of short reliever kind of arm to trust in 1 to 3 inning spans. One of the other new guys in his Double-A debut, Gabe Davis. 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. It looks like he allowed all of his runs in his 3rd inning of work. Extreme small sample size. I know some of you have said, well, he probably still projects as a reliever, but I would think under Stearns and the Mets' MO, they're probably going to continue to have him in the rotation this year and next year. See how things plan out. Let him work on all of his pitch mix, and then maybe have a determination after next season. Does he transition to a pen if he had to? Again, he'd be a 97 to 99 arm out of a pen. That's the option. As we head to AAA, another one of the new guys. He's the older guy acquired in the Brazoban trade, Zach Franklin. 1 2/3 in his first outing, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 walks, 1 K. What I'm noticing for Zach Franklin, who made 2 appearances this week with the Mets organization now at the highest level, AAA, he is heavy on his secondary pitches. He doesn't rely on a fastball, which I believe might be more low 90s. I think he can top it at 95. But I like his week overall. Looks like a junk ball thrower. He's going to throw a lot of stuff that's not a fastball to every hitter. Then you have the top dog, Jonah Tong. 5 innings. He allowed 5 home runs this week. And I mentioned it online. I believe at least 3 of the home runs allowed, the pitch location was middle. He gave them up on different pitches, so it wasn't just struggling with one pitch or the other. It's all about pitch command, delivery, how it's being done. You can't throw middle in AAA, especially when you're struggling with command. Is he trying to have more get-me-over pitches, and now he's getting tagged by veteran-ish AAA guys? Same for my guy, Jack Wenninger. 5 innings, 6 earned runs. He allowed 3 home runs in his outing this week, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Here's the thing about Jack Wenninger. He's still struggling with his pitch command. If there's hope for Jack Wenninger, I'm going by what's on the releases of what's on the MILB page. It looks like his fastball velocity came back this week, 94 to 97. He hasn't been going 95, 96, 97 all year. So I'm taking this as a positive sign. Even with the walks, the velocity just came back up. Can he maintain that velocity for the rest of the season? And will the command ever come back to what it was last year? Speaking of command, Jonathan Santucci. He's made 2 starts now in AAA. 9 1/3 innings total, 9 walks, 13 Ks. I questioned it before his debut in AAA. Again, the baseballs, for whatever reason, are different. AA lower, AAA major leagues use the same baseballs. Now, he's a guy that has some pitch command issues coming in, but I was worried how he would look in his debut, and so far the walks have been there for 2 outings. But he still has one of the highest, if not the highest, amount of strikeouts in minor league baseball this year. I want to see how things kind of level off now as he makes more AAA starts. Now, the other guy, I said last week, I think Nick Morabito should at least be a September call-up as the bat. If there's going to be a pitcher being called up, I say, think, believe it better be Dylan Ross. Looks like he's going back to 96 to 99. The velocity's coming back this week. He only has a walk in 1 of his 9 appearances. So he has 8 appearances not walking anybody. He's still allowing some hits and runs, I will be honest. But again, Dylan Ross, if the velocity's back, if the command is better, that is the real starting point. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I'll try making more individualized, shorter videos as well to give you guys updates on all the new guys especially. Thank you for watching. Till next time.